Welcome to edMsk, the channel for education, learning and development, and today I'm going to talk about 5 skills every graduate must learn. You have graduated, you worked hard, you've got a degree, but why are many graduates still struggling to get jobs? The truth is, the employers are no longer looking for degrees, they are looking for skills. In this video, I'll show you the 5 important skills every graduate must learn to survive and succeed in the day-to-day. Hello everyone, this is edMsk. I help graduates to build a career in education, leadership and development. The first skill every graduate must master is communication. Many graduates have qualifications but cannot express themselves confidently. The reason is that many fail to speak clearly, as to be able to articulate issues, their reasoning, but also able to articulate what they have on their mind. A graduate has to be able to speak clearly, able to articulate issues about the company, about himself, and also the environment at large. Graduates are meant to be able to speak clearly in the sense that they can be able to sell their company, they can be able to articulate the issues of the company, they can be able to see that what is on their mind, what they studied, can be put out in a clear and favorable communication to everyone to understand. Then secondly is writing professionally. Many graduates fail to write professionally, and this affects them when they get to work. People recruiting, the recruiter, the employers are interested in seeing a person who has the ability to write, someone who can be able to try something and also be able to put it in practice. Many graduates cannot write proposals, cannot be able to write what is demanded of them. They can only be able to write letters, communication letters. Many graduates cannot be able to write professionally. And this is one of the skills that is being taught at a lower level in our education system. So if one can't write professionally, then that graduate is losing the battle. Many professionals, many employers are looking into someone who can be able to write professionally. Also looking at presenting ideas. How do you present yourself? How do you sell yourself to the public? How do you articulate issues? And how do you present yourself as an individual? The outlook, the way you speak, the way you model yourself when you're speaking to the people or to the community you're working with, or maybe the people within the organizations. They're also looking at interview communication. How would you communicate when you're asked in an interview? How would you interview other people? How is your response into this process as you come into the job? If you cannot communicate your value, people will ignore your potential. However much you are good and you cannot be able to communicate, then that means you're losing out. So what do you need to do? You need to practice public speaking, presentation, and also professional writing. Then number 2 is digital skills. Today's world is digital. Whether you are a teacher, a business person, or an NGO worker, digital skills are essential. So to mention, you need to know Microsoft Word, you need to know email communication, you need to know social media, online research, and also AI tools. So technology is no longer an option, it is a survival. So if you're a graduate and you can't use digital technology, then you're losing out. Number 3 is networking skill. Many opportunities come through the people you know. So in other words, you need to be able to have networks or LinkedIn, professional relationships, mentorships, and then attending events. Sometimes your next opportunity is one conversation away. So try to build networks. Try to build networks as much as possible. Number 5 is problem-solving skills. There's one people who can solve problems, not people who wait for instructions. Why? You need to be someone who is a critical thinker. You need to think critically, but also you need to be creative as well as be able to initiate processes as you build your career development. You need to be someone who is able to initiate processes and then see them through as they grow. So instead of complaining about unemployment, ask, what problem can I be able to solve? And last is adaptability and continuous learning. The world is changing very fast. People who refuse to learn will be left behind. And this is how you need to go about it. You need to see that you're learning new skills each and every time. How? You need to be reading books, you need to read novels, you need to do research as much as possible. And you need to take online courses. There are so many online courses which are very important for you to build your skills and also to be able to grow in your career. There's being flexible. You don't need to be stagnant. You don't need to be a standing block. You need to be an open, a flexible person to be able to take on new knowledge and then outsmart the old knowledge. So you need to be flexible for any changes that come, because change is inevitable. In other words, you need to adapt to new changes as they come. This will help you to grow your career. In other words, your degree got you started, but continuous learning keeps you relevant. Graduates, as I conclude, I'll tell you that graduation is not a finishing line. It is the beginning. The graduates who succeeded are the graduates who continue growing. Which skill do you think is very important? Comment below. Subscribe for more career leadership content. Thank you. Bye.